This fine morning. And, if it's one thing I love is coffee. But if it's one thing I've learned about women is they really love the tea. No matter who you are, they love spilling that tea. Now, I never really knew that whole idiom until much recently, but the reality of it is this is an application that has skyrocketed the popularity, okay? So tea is a dating safety tool that protects women. Now, on the surface, I thought, this is a pretty cool tool. It exists, it is what it is, and
it's a tool for Karens. I'll be right back. Someone's yelling at me. We'll be back 1 second. Alright, we're back.
Generally speaking, the idea is you probably have used a dating app at some point in your life. The last time I ever touched a dating app was probably all the way back in college. Some kid told me some guy that I was going with told me about Tinder and how you can just get laid all the time through it. And I accessed it once, and I swear to God, I think it's an entire bot farm still to this day. Now, I'm out of the dating pool, all right? I'm a happily taken person, and, it's not something that I really touch, but I'm sure that a lot of younger people probably get their first few dates, or maybe meet their soulmate through an application. But there's a lot of shady people on those applications, okay? And T is here to help you with dating safety tools.
It's here to help you so you never get a man and you're afraid of everything that comes your way, and you're also afraid to go on a date. That's what it's for. That's what it's for. Yeah.
Now, what kind of stuff are you using T for? I guess you can find verified green flag men, okay? So this is an application just for women, okay? No men are allowed in here. No man whatsoever. Only women. Now, of course, you can run background checks on all of these guys.
Of course you
can.
I
guess if you're looking closely, it might be harder to read. You're looking at things like convictions, marital statuses, and civil court records. Identify potential catfish. Verify that he ain't no sex offender. Check for a criminal history. Now, of course, this application blew and skyrocketed to complete popularity, okay? So to give you an idea, this is #1 on the App Store right now, okay? This is a pretty big thing. 64.6 thousand ratings, almost
Sounds
5 stars.
right.
I mean, it must be a pretty badass thing. Now, if you look closely at it, I almost thought this was like a fucking joke app. Because again, this is the actual application. Get the T on your date. Does anyone have any T on Jake? So if Jake is on a dating app and he's not entirely there, these women on the application are going to talk all the dirty they need to about Jake. Now, I tried to see if this was verified anywhere. Like, does T do any form of verification on a lot of the claims that are made? Or does it just outright...
I think there would be a lot of legal issues if they didn't at least somewhat look into them. If they didn't somewhat look into them, I don't think there would be any way to say that they wouldn't be. They would be in hell and high water.
Spew whatever bullshit that anybody wants to post. Now, I checked into T's terms of services, and they said that the contents are for informational purposes only. T Dating makes no warranty whatsoever that any of this information is accurate, and does not pre-screen content uploaded by users or verify the statement of its users. Now, this is a big problem, okay? Now, dating is a very personal thing, and sometimes breakups are tough. I've broken up with plenty of women, and I'm on good terms with them, and I've had women cheat on me. I have had women ghost me, all right? I've had one relationship ghost me, one cheat on me, one I'm on really good terms with, and, one that I just don't talk to, okay? And that's
how it goes. I had my ex cheat on me, okay? I still talk to one of them, and I don't talk to the other one. I genuinely couldn't care less. Why do you need to know someone's past like this before you date them? Oh, I'm divorced. Oh, well, that's a bad sign. I better know that before I even go on a date to figure out if he's a good person or not. I'm going to judge him before even knowing him. It does not seem like such a bad idea.
You know what? That's how relationships work, okay? Breakups can be messy. Breakups can be amicable. Breakups are just things you want to move past as soon as possible. Now, if somebody on this application says that, oh no, does anybody have the tea on Jake? Well, Jake's really good at making martinis. His speciality is a roofie colada. Now, of course, at that point, you might be like, whoa, I better watch out for Jake. But if T is not doing its job by vetting if that information is true, whether by a court document or a police report, or I don't know how they're verifying some of these things, you
Tons
can
of legal
probably see
issues.
that defamation, or sorry, in this case, libel, because it's written, would be a pretty serious issue. So going down over here, they say avoid dating red flag men. And again, this is why I thought it was a joke app, because again, it's like XOXO, Gossip Girl, share that tea. And of course, it's all like, here's the red flags. It's because he's married. Should I date Ethan? Don't date him, right? 68%. Date him. He's just busy. Ask him why only lunch. And of course, if you look at the reason, my friend
There's
saw
a
him out
poll?
with another girl. And yeah, this is just anonymous, unverified shit. Now, if you're with somebody, I guess you can do set alerts for your man. Want a heads up anytime Jake is mentioned in your area? It's like, you know what it is? It's the fucking Shardy for fucking women, dude. It's a gossip site for women. It's like Lol Cow Farm for women. It's, you know what it is? It's just 4chan for the girls, for the gals.
Dude, it's literally 4chan with the gals. Absolutely it is.
Now, I don't know if their own feature of following your man might violate Section 5 and 6 of their use of their services and their terms, but literally reading that you must not use the information on the service to harass, threaten, or intimidate individuals. Context and intent matter, as we allow you to post and share if it is clear that something was shared in order to condemn or draw attention to bullying or harassment. And again, is it kind of getting into harassment territories when, you know, you have a whole network of gaggling people to like fucking follow someone and like report if they've seen them with another woman? I mean, it's just a weird thing to do.
It is weird.
Like, imagine if like
Why-
this was flipped
like-
on the other way around and it was like, hey guys, here's a picture of my girlfriend.
Why would I want a woman that would be like, oh, I don't date that man anymore. Let's post all the shit about him on the app. Then he'll never get a girlfriend again, and it will ruin his life. Sounds like a great idea. What a great app. Lamau, you're right, Doc. Puma. Hey, Puma. We're doing reaction videos today because Wu Chang doesn't come out until Monday. Don't you love the scammers on Kick? I love them. I love them. I've been mostly... I don't know how to get people in on Kick, Puma. I'm trying something new. People watch on Twitch and people watch on Rumble. I get a lot of people that watch on Rumble now, mostly on Rumble, because we're doing a lot more conservative content. But I don't know how to bring people in on Kick. That one time was through the main page, but that doesn't happen all the time. But I am glad to see you. Oh, frick, where were we?
And let's share if she's ever been caught with all of it. Just a male version of this app existed on the App Store. It would have been removed before.
Yeah, that's a good point. If guys tried to make a app where they post dirt on women they dated, it would have been banned. It would have been banned. He's making a great point here. No way this would fly on the other way around. It's not an equal opportunity app. It is a one or the other app.
Before I even got a chance to research it, but because it's like the female version of it, it's suddenly like completely okay to talk about. It's trending it and charting at #1. It's wild. Now, of course, I decided to go even deeper and look at some other screenshots that I found were a little bit wild when it came to tea. So I went to APK Pure, which pulled a cache of the Google Play version of the application.
Yeah.
And some of the screenshots were even funny. Like, here's the sex offender search option.
And
Criminal
it's-
record search, Jeffrey Epstein.
They put Jeffrey Epstein on the team main page? Are you serious? Why would they do this? Yes, I don't think you're going to date Jeffrey Epstein. I think that is a thing you should not do. That sounds like a really bad idea.
Dean. Imagine matching with Epstein, dude. What the fuck? This is why I thought it's a joke. And again, phone number lookup. Here's the name, married,
You
age,
can take
address.
someone's phone number?
So you can just pull up like the doxes on entire individuals. And again, this is not new. Obviously, if you're scared of an application like T, I'm gonna kind of like I'm just straight up pull it out for you. There are things you can buy in this application. For instance, you can get a monthly subscription service. You can get T Premium, T Pro, reverse image searches, and criminal record checks for $8 a popperoonie.
You can do all this for free. You can do all this on free if you're not retarded online. If you're not mentally retarded, this can all be free.
You want a private background check? $20. Bro, you can order private investigators on this fucking application. That's crazy. That's insane. Now, of course, obviously, how does a man sign up for this application to verify if the claims made about him are not true? You can't, okay? So, for instance, I decided I'm going to fire up the T app. So I downloaded it, installed it on a cell phone, and the thing about this application is you can't actually record the screen or screenshot
Puma, would you
stuff, okay?
would
So
you like
realistically,
to come
everything
react
on
to
T
videos with me?
must stay on T. And of course, this is a great method, but it really is completely defeated by the other method.
It's like Snapchat. You can't take a screenshot of it. You can. This is crazy. It's literally just Snapchat for women.
Which is record your phone screen with another phone, and then you can do whatever you want. So I was making an account on this, and I thought it was, again, every time I use it, I think it's a fucking joke app, right? Because I'm signing up for an account, and it's like, what's your username? The default is like XOXO Gossip Girl. You get to a point where it asks you for a selfie, and they say that they'll delete this file in 24 hours, and we'll get right back to that. They ask you for a selfie, which, you know, if you have a mom...
You can literally use any other thing. They're asking for a selfie to prove you're a girl. I'll just grab that back there and say I'm a girl. I'll just grab that photo back there. Like, what kind of verification is that?
Or a wife in this case. I'm sure everyone's got a mom or something. If you don't have a mom, I apologize for whatever reason. But generally speaking, you can sneak your way onto this application. Now, I'm not going to say how I snuck onto this application, but I did. And unfortunately, at the time of filming and at the time of really recording and researching, a lot of that application is completely disabled. So unfortunately, we're stuck in this load loop for now. Maybe it'll change at some point as I go through with this. But yeah, this was generally the experience. Now, to give you an idea on why this selfie was a bad thing. What gets really insane about this too is immediately right after, like this morning when I was like waking up to read this, I got into overdrive mode. Because apparently the application got completely hacked by a few 4chaners, dude.
4chan W strikes again. Ultra 4chan W.
Make an app to dox a bunch of dudes and so doxing the women instead, bro. What the fuck? Driver's licenses and face pics get in here before they shut it down. And of course, they appear to show a bunch of these women's driver's licenses, which is a
California,
pretty
of course
massive privacy risk right over here. I don't have to really say that for it to be obvious. The T-App uploads all user verification submissions to a public Firebase storage bucket with the prefix attachments. So they give a URL. Yes, if you send T-App your face and driver's license, they doxed you publicly. No authentication, no nothing. It's a public bucket. So yes, this user is in fact absolutely right, because this is not a hack. And for a lot of people that were looking into this, they had found that yes, by putting in that URL, you absolutely could find attachment files. And users in this situation did go out of their way to write entire Python scripts to effectively scrape this page, and now there's like a torrent floating around. There's just an entire batch of images floating around of these women's faces, possibly their actual personally identifiable information. So yes, again, unfortunately, I don't have any footage to show you to verify this on this video
Well, you
right now.
can't show it anyway.
But,
If you
I'm
showed
not
it,
going to just
you
ask
could-
you to take my word for it.
know,
There's a
yeah.
group of journalists at 404 Media that have also
I
confirmed this
believe
as
them.
well through their research.
I don't think Mutahar is
So
the
it's
reason
kind
why.
of safe to say that maybe things aren't entirely perfect in the land of tea. So again, this is a pretty massive security issue, all right? Obviously, it goes understated. So there's just a lot of doxing going on. This whole app is a fucking GDPR nightmare, which is one of the reasons why I think it's only in the United States as of now. If this was an issue in like Europe or Canada, where privacy laws, at least in Europe, are a lot more strict, this would absolutely put the developers of this application in the fucking crosshairs. You know, there's like a word called irony that I think applies really well in this situation too, right? Like, let's be completely honest here. Like, this is just some of the goofiest shit that you can read. The application that is doxing and is designed to basically talk shit about people that can't respond back just ended up doxing the people that were mostly interested. Now, obviously, if you go to the user base for like the T app, I think some of the user reviews pretty much show me the kind of insane nut jobs.
I think they deserve some sort of compensation for being doxxed. Or at least a valid letter showing that, like, hey, we looked into it. Or if it's in the terms of service that they're not liable, then make them liable, you know? Someone could have got easily hurt if it doxed their entire location.
That have started using this kind of an application, okay? So I'll read you some of these reviews. Chai Nikki writes, okay, so boom, first off, I swear to God, I don't know what's up with all these emojis fitting in. I love the idea of tea. It's basically Yelp for
It's a
exes.
women thing.
You get
Girls
to see what
do,
people say about
do
the
that.
person you're thinking about matching with. And listen, that's a game changer for the girls who are done wasting time on smooth talking liabilities, what's it giving, real feedback from real people. So again, what they want is
real
new
women.
features, like a video post, like a 1-minute clip max. Imagine being able to watch a quick little 60-second clip of the culprit in action. Woo! Receipts. The tea would be piping hot. I honestly feel like everyone involved in this application doesn't realize how creepy this is, especially if you kind of reverse the roles, right? Like imagine if, you know, tonight I vibe coded an application called coffee or beer or something, and inside the application it was like, all right boys, let's just talk all the hottest shit we want about the girls in our like group. What if the app was called Body Count, for instance, right? Like, you know, just think of all the crazy ideas. This would be treated absolutely terribly. And again, the concept is not terrible. Like I said, when I started this video off, I don't think the idea of like dating safety is bad. You know, there's a lot of fraud that happens. You know, don't forget that a lady literally fell for a bunch of AI generated Brad Pitt images and ended up siphoning the shit out of her money because she thought Brad Pitt loved her and he had like
Deserved.
crazy super fucking butt
If they're
cancer the
retarded
entire time.
enough
So there
to do
is
that,
scams
then
that
it's
happen.
deserved.
There are actual bad people. There are date rapists that exist on these applications. There are some real bad apples.
Not
There are
good,
some
bad
cheaters. There are some
people in
disgusting
general.
types of dudes
All
out
around
there.
bad.
And the thing is, I'm totally fine with applications made for safety of these women at the end of the day. Because, again, when you're going out on a date with some guy you met through an application, you know, sometimes it can be a great experience. Sometimes it can be a forgettable evening. And sometimes, God forbid, it can be an evening where, you know, you never forget it for all the wrong reasons. And that's why having an application like this does make sense on paper. But the fact that T dropped this without any form of fact-checking, without any form of verification,
I think they're liable. If they have no form of any checks to determine who was right and who was wrong here, it's their fault. They are in the wrong. They did not... If they did not go and check any of this, it's completely on them. They should have some sort of refund to all incentives that were paid towards the company during the app.
verification into claims being made is such a defamation or libel minefield that I'm surprised it's actually going. I don't think this app might survive too long, okay? To be honest with you, I think a lot of the stuff that they're pulling and sharing around might be a data privacy nightmare, just given by the fact that the women who were signing up for this application had a lot of their identities just completely leaked and downloaded for the world to grab. Not because even T was hacked. It's literally
Who not to date? If they were in the leak, men, you got your red flag. You stay away, okay? If they were in the T leak, you stay away. They are not worth your time. Bitches be crazy.
literally because they just did not put any
Literally
effort into configuring
insane.
their buckets, so that like all the information people were posting that was supposed to be deleted after 24 hours apparently.
What is that? Oakley, the T app is an app, well, was, where women could go on there and report all the flags they had with a man on a date. Like, he's a pedo, he's a sex offender, he cheated, he's married. And it was a place for a bunch of Karens to get along. And guess what? It completely got leaked. All their IDs, personal info, driver's license. Yeah, it's all on the internet now. It is the place where men are like, if you had a T app, you're done. I'm not dating you no more.
Just still existed.
Oakley, we're doing a bunch of reaction videos. I have a bunch to go over and talk about. I don't do reaction streams very often, but when I do, I talk a lot more, and literally, it's some of my favorite time. If you want to come and do some reactions with me, if you want to like talk about them with me and discuss some of the topics, you can. I know Rolf and BM won't be coming, but yeah. I do love this kind of stuff.
Persistent people downloaded and ran with it. So it's a wild situation to just completely witness. And again, an application like this, like I said, makes sense. I don't mind seeing dating safety. I think it's super cool to see.
Yeah, he has a point. I don't mind dating safety.
All right, because they're not doing any form of verification, and there really is no way for any of the other parties to, who are being kind of defamed in a way, if the information posted is completely false about them, to at least offer some sort of rebuttal. And I'm sure there's ways for you to reach out to T and tell them to take down a post if you provide them like actual information. But again, it's just a headache that somebody has to go through. Now, if you're really worried about something like T, for instance, right? Remember, this is a phenomenon that's gone on for a long time.
Look, if you're worried about your information out there, don't be, because it is. You can find anything about anyone else at any time. And it's free. Yeah, you can just do that. It's no big deal. If you're concerned about privacy, you have been doxxed for your whole life. If someone wanted to find you, they will. That's how the internet works.
Time. There used to be a website called The Dirty where you could just post anybody that you wanted and basically talk all the shit you ever needed about them. And it was a website that isn't accessible anymore, but to give you a quick idea from reputation.ca, it devolved into a site to shame and insult people, primarily women in this case. Whether or not there's any truth to the situation, The Dirty would allow anyone who would post a name and shame rundown of their supposed experiences. There's very little or nothing in the way of verification, and posts are typically laden with misogynistic language and insulting implications. So again, this is a huge problem that occurred even back then, right? Like, this is not a new situation. When the internet was introduced,
why was it
people were allowed
called
to post
The Dirty?
whatever the fuck they wanted, yeah, things like T have always persisted. And again, the fact that you can just post anything you want about somebody and have a platform for it, what they've basically done is not new. It's literally a gossip forum.
You got a four-leaf clover,
for
Jess?
women, exclusively women in this situation.
That's neat.
Now, what T is doing is, in a way, not so much different than like a criminal records check or like a background search on somebody, which anybody can do right now. Anybody can do, and all it really needs in some cases is $64, which isn't all that much in the grand scheme of things, especially when you're trying to get the background on people that you're with. As long as you have a first, last name, phone number, whatever. As long as you have enough information for these guys to work with, you can basically have your own private investigator sicked on anybody, and that's effectively kind of a rough version of what some of the paid options on T allows you to do. Now, I think at the end of all this, it's an incredibly good-intentioned application, and when I was looking at the person making it, it was actually kind of a heartwarming reason why they made it. Apparently the guy, Sean Cook, is a dude that ended up finding, like, his mom talking to somebody with a criminal record search. And, yeah, he wanted to provide experience. He wanted to provide protection to a lot of women that were actually going onto these platforms and, you know, talking to people that they had really no idea of, right? Because sometimes you could be talking to somebody randomly on an entire, like, you know, platform, and you don't know if they're, like, you know, convicted of, like, a domestic battery or something, right? Like, you know, this guy's an actual...
I think it should be fair and square. If there's one for women, there should be one for men. There should be a app for men where if you have dirt on a woman, you should be able to post it. Such as if they're cheating or anything. But you know it's not going to happen. Because we don't live in an equal society here. These companies are siding with the women.
Registered wife beater. I don't know who the fuck this is. Maybe I should know this before I get into a relationship. So it's a really altruistic reason why they made it. Unfortunately, because there is no verification and no standards on verification, as even said by their own terms, it is an incredibly messy application. So it is a truly altruistic app. It's just an incredibly messy way of doing it. What they've done is not new, nothing new. It's basically just a gossip forum that is exclusively for women. And in some cases, I feel like if anybody's going out of their way to post something about a guy, the red flags, it's a lot like going to Yelp. I feel like most people review things if they're very negatively impacted, okay? So sometimes a jilted ex could come, completely defame you, say some of the most outlandish shit, and there really isn't any way for you to, I guess, rectify that. Because I don't think most women are going to go on and just immediately write, like, green flags out of the kindness of their heart, as I wouldn't expect guys to as well. Like I said, reviewing anything positively usually isn't something that people spend their time doing as much as they take reviewing something negatively. And that's just basic human psychology right there. So yeah, the T-dating application. I'm glad that I'm a married man at this point because, goddamn, the dating world be wild. You know, I do miss the days back then when you just dated people that you met through hobbies or work or whatever. Still happens to this day. But this overall reliance on, like, dating applications, it's just such a dystopian world that exists.
You ain't dating anyone anymore. People are crazy now. I am actively looking for someone to date and marry, and I don't even want to bother going outside to find someone because I literally don't even have the effort or want to deal with all the garbage that it includes. Like, the amount of garbage it would include me doing, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it for me. It's just not something I want to do at all. If people weren't crazy or I wouldn't be accused of something, I would go out and date people. But we don't live in that world. We live in Loopy Town, where everyone has brain damage and retardation. That, no, you can't. You can't get away with that. You can't. All right.